was or you wasn't, little bruh. From now on, I'm calling the shots. I don't really care about your hating, little daddy, LeBron. Your mammy's a pity. Anytime I get beside myself, I remind myself from. Think I gotta go through. I don't like therapists. I don't like most you.
EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this Halloween matchup. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
The kicker, Jake Bates, has this one on the tee. He'll run up and send this one away here at Ford Field. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
They run here with Rico Dowdle. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line, got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
On the run, it's Dowdle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott now, option right. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Here's Prescott. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Fly sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. To throw is Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Now Prescott. Outright, he finds Tolbert. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
They run again with Dowdle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Dowdle. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And his kick here is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 35, here's second down and 1. Now Goff. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. Quick slant there gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back to throw, Goff. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 59 yards. And the Lions have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Prescott from the gun. There again is Cooks. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Prescott. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott with a connection to CeeDee Lamb. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. In motion goes Patrick. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. Now it's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Gone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
They go ahead and snap it. Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Off play action. Here's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Micah Parsons from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Goff. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that one too wide and incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Bates' kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold them to a 3-point kick, Now you're giving them the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Goff. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Mozzie Smith, he fought through to record the sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Bates' kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Cowboys and Dak Prescott getting set to take over once more. He's been perfect through the air, 9 of 9 so far, including that touchdown on the last drive. As his guys start again, 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Prescott now. Pass complete to Tolbert on the crossing route. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They run here with Dowdle. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Prescott off play action. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here's 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. A running play. It's Dowdle. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
This 2nd and 4. Here's Prescott. Being chased out left. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
To throw is Prescott. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Here's Prescott. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Good coverage there by Carlton Davis.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want, because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
And his kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Lions offense and receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown set to go once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And out across midfield down to the 45. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. A big play there on the catch and run. 36 yards. The previous play, big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
It certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're one play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Load up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. To the air again. Goff. And he's got it. And in for the Lions touchdown. Tim Patrick from 8 yards out. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that will make this a 4-point game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
He'll get this to his running back, Dowdle. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Throwing, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. That's into the hands of Tolbert. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Prescott. Right back to Tolbert. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Prescott yet again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Four yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. And again, it's Prescott. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Prescott. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll bring him back within a point. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on second and less than a yard. The final shot before break here. Goff. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The Lions got a very strong performance out of their quarterback, Jared Goff. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. In motion left goes a tight end. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Off play action. Here's Goff. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 9. Here's Goff. Oh, and that is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Goff. he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Carlos Watkins coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here comes the Lions punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Looking to throw on second down. Prescott able to hit his target, Lamb. No gain on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
Prescott now. And that is incomplete. And the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's Goff. He's got right on the short throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And the tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the 50, it's Goff. This to Laporta, right side. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 72 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Gone.
Throw over the middle. He finds Williams.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be second down. They'll fake the give. Now Goff.
He's got right on the short throw.
And out of bounds right around the 20.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Play action. It's Goff. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal.
Made his first. This now from 46 yards away.
Bates' kick is good.
And they add on and get a little bit of a cushion. It's 20-16 now. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And out now come the Cowboys.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
To throw is Prescott.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
A yard all they need, but it's third down. Now Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to convert on third and short yardage with a gain of 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's to the 15, and he gets it all the way down to the 3. That goes for a gain of 31.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Prescott from the gun. He'll get this to his running back, Dowdle. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
They're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. To the air again, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. So with a fourth and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. And this one is right through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on fourth and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Lions offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Going underneath, Gibbs has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 43, here's second and a couple. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now it's gone. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Now Goff. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a fourth down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 74 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Right back to him on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
On second down, they'll run it here. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, Prescott. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas first down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Second down and 3, ball on the 7. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line. That sack courtesy of Jack Campbell.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Another shot now for this Lions offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because
He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So Dak and the Cowboys down by 1. 2:07 remaining. They'll have one play, maybe 2, before the 2-minute warning as they've got a 1st down. Here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Lamb. And he's got a 1st down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drop. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. There's Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Now Prescott. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Prescott. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one.
And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.